Well, hello and welcome. I'm going to get started right away. I had 24 years in BC Public, and I've done 10 years of that when I was in middle school, mostly 7 to 9. Media arts was my love, my dream job. And after doing media arts for a few years, I was tempted to go into administration, where I've been a vice principal, a principal, and I've worked at a district office. Curriculum and program development is where I gravitated towards, and is somewhere that something I'm quite passionate about. And I'm very fortunate to be the assistant superintendent at Maple Leaf for the last 3 years, and I've been working on curriculum and program development. So it's nice when you like going to work every day. So a little bit about the BC program. Dr. Sherman Jen, he started the first offshore school, the BC Offshore School, in 1997. And the reason I wanted to point this out is that this was quite a leap of faith on both the part of the BC Ministry of Education and for China and Dr. Sherman Jen as well. Dr. Jen actually opened his first school in 1995 in Dalian, and he did so because his daughters were attending school in British Columbia and Vancouver. And the school system, he noticed, was very different from the school system in China that he had grown up in. And he thought that it would be a fantastic idea to blend the best of the Eastern education that he got in China with the Western education that he was seeing his daughters have in Vancouver. So he approached the BC ministry, and as I said earlier, they took that leap of faith with him. And in 1997, it was the first offshore school that was accredited by BC. And now Maple Leaf has 106 schools in 27 cities in China. So from 14 students in 1995, it's grown to having schools in China, Canada, Singapore, and Australia. And our current enrollment is 43,500. And those are students from pre-K up to grade 12. There are 6,000 plus employees at Maple Leaf. And over the years, and I should mention that we just celebrated our 25th anniversary. Over the years, from those 14 initial graduates, there have now been 16,500 high school graduates. And they have enrolled in over 650 universities in more than 30 countries in the world. This year has been a very interesting year, but our students have had the opportunity to complete their grade 12 with BC, and 67% of those graduates have received offers from top 100 universities throughout the world. So Maple Leaf has a strong foundation and has grown along with the BC Offshore program. And one of the reasons that Dr. Sherman Jen chose the BC Offshore program is because it is #1 in the world. And if you look at PISA results, which is a worldwide ranking system, Canada is consistently the top in that. And I'm from British Columbia, and we like to say in British Columbia, we're #1 in Canada, Canada's #1, therefore BC is #1. And BC is a fantastic curriculum for students who are learning to read and write and speak in a second language. It's very strong in the reading and writing skills. And we know that in order to give our students a very strong foundation to go to university, they need to have that strong foundation in reading, writing, and oral speaking. The BC curriculum is very competency-based. The core competencies are the heart of the BC curriculum, and those are communication, social responsibility, and critical and creative thinking, and they are integrated throughout the curriculum. And the content is viewed as a vehicle in order to increase those competency skills. So this is something that in the last 3 years with the new BC curriculum is a very different approach, where we're not just worrying about what students know and what they understand, but we're also worrying about what it is that they can do. And in order to be lifelong learners, they need to have all of these skills. The BC curriculum is very active. Students are moving around, they're engaged. There's a real contrast in a BC classroom to when I visit a Chinese classroom. And I see in our Chinese classrooms often that our students are sitting in rows and the teacher's at the front. And I have to say too, that in many Western classrooms, this happens too, where the teacher is the lecturer at the front of the room. And in the BC curriculum, the goal is to have students very engaged. So they're up, they're engaging in hands-on learning, inquiry and project-based learning. They're very involved in their learning, and they're encouraged to question and learn through discovery. One of the things that Maple Leaf has done is we're very supportive of our teachers. who come, and then the BC curriculum is something that is new to them. And we want to support them as they learn the BC curriculum. So we have created something we call the global curriculum. And we post it on our SharePoint site. It is accessible to all of our teachers. And we provide professional development and training throughout the year on the BC curriculum. But we also write our course overviews, unit plans, and lesson plans for most of our courses for our teachers. We also provide resources and a great deal of support for active learning so that it's integrated throughout the classroom. We want our teachers to be very confident in their delivery of the BC program. We also want them to be very competent working with language learners. So within our global curriculum, we have developed 12 key teaching strategies, and they're specifically for language learners. We provide professional development to our teachers on this throughout the year. And we also have on our training hub a place where you can go and revisit when you want to refresh these as well. The 12 key teaching strategies include things like the use of visuals, vocabulary development, the use of reflective journals, the use of collaborative learning. And we want students to be very engaged in their learning and that active skill development, but we also want to be focused on language learning. So we make sure that we support our teachers and our students within that. We know that when our students come to us in grade 10 in our high schools and they've gone to a Chinese school from kindergarten through to grade 9, they may not have had any exposures to these skills that we've been talking about. So inquiry-based learning is brand new for them. Maybe they haven't had the opportunity to do much collaborative learning. So we scaffold these skills in. We know that in grade 10, we are introducing the skills. In grade 11, we're expecting more, and then we're expecting mastery when they are in grade 12. And our teachers have developed some really novel ways to do this, and they share a lot. So we have a teacher here in Dalian who developed a game. It's a leveling up game. It's very much like a computer game that students might play. And within their English class, they record and they self-reflect on their competency development, and then they can level up into different levels as they grow and learn. And that's kind of the view that we take with all of our students. We want to introduce it, we want to help them grow and learn,